presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackhawk. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. It is another gorgeous Southern California night, and we come to you from the Big A in Anaheim. Tonight, Game 2 in this three-game series featuring the Tigers and the Angels. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemble alongside Kirk Gibson. Glad to have you with us for Game 2 in the series. Tigers trying to bounce back from last night and really give me this entire trip has been a challenge for them. They just have not been playing sharp baseball.
Well, we talked about it the first game in Oakland. Why does the Tigers have all the trouble on the West Coast trip? We talked about the travel, the sky, the sun, the fast track, and now they've lost 3 or 4. They have not handled the West Coast elements well at all. You see Cam Maben right there loses one in the sun. Ian Kinsler usually sure-handed Monday on Sunday, and then Monday yesterday, Mike Scioscia puts the pressure on the Tigers and turns the tie game into 5 runs. An errant throw to home plate, then on to first base for another couple runs score. And to win, you just got to do better. You got to execute better. They're being outplayed. You got to slow the game down to minimize the damage within those innings. All
right, now Anibal Sanchez will go tonight for the Tigers, and for Sanchez, they need him to pitch better because they need a 3 guy in that rotation to step up. He has not won since April.
Well, if you look at it, he started on the disabled list in spring training, so to say. He was not healthy. The numbers so far is not good. A plus ERA, 4.53 walks per 9, almost 2 home runs per 9. But it's not physical. He's healthy. He feels good. He said he found himself thinking about bad things in big situations in the last game. And he's been taking measures to counter that into positive thoughts, and he'll get a chance to put that to use tonight.
All right, hopefully the Tigers can even up the series with a victory here tonight. Tigers and Halos coming up. But right now we send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Trevor Thompson. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank could be when it's time. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep. Come discover great deals during the Jeep Drive and Discover events. Back here in Anaheim, we're at the Big A. And Hector Santiago taking the mound tonight for the Angels. This is game 2 in the series. The Tigers starting lineup tonight presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Here is the starting 9 that Santiago will face this evening. For the Tigers, Ian Kinsler will lead things off. He'll play at second base. And then J.D. Martinez, who has hit safely in 8 straight against the Halos. Miguel Cabrera's at first. Martinez, Castellanos, and Upton, your middle 3 tonight. Cam Maben out in center field. McCann catching. Jose Iglesias back at shortstop this evening for the Tigers, and they are facing lefty Hector Santiago.
Well, Hector Santiago not throwing the ball well at all. Just as Anibal Sanchez does not. Velo's down a little bit from 92 to 95 to start the season. Pretty much a fastball, good change to the righty, slider, cutter. Those two can run together. But he also has been better at home, so he's here today, and Tigers will have a challenge against another lefty tonight.
Tigers typically have had their struggles this year against left-handed pitching, but Santiago has had his struggles as well overall this year. Ian Kinsler getting set to step in now for the Tigers. It'll be Kinsler, Martinez, and Cabrera, game 2 in this series. Angels won the opener last night. The Tigers, as a result, now 24-26 on the year. Kinsler was 1 out of 4 in the ball game last night. Here we go. The first pitch of tonight's game is a strike call. Kinsler at .313. He's hit 10 home runs this year. Now Santiago is 0-1. Lifted back out of play. 0-2 on the Tigers leadoff man. Ian's had a pretty good road trip. With 6 hits on this trip. Brad Ausmus knows that he's gotten a lot out of his leadoff man this season, and Tigers need to start playing some better baseball here on this trip with 2 to go.
Well, when you get into the tougher games, the tighter games, mistakes are magnified, and Tigers have had a couple of those, as we pointed out in our open. But you got to move on, and you got to stick together in times like this. I've been on teams where people point fingers. That's not the case here. When that was coming, you jumped too.
I did not jump. I leaned a little bit. I did not jump.
Did he jump? Yeah, stage manager confirms.
People throwing me under the bus here. 1-2 the count. Now the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Kinsler down on strikes.
Let's take a look at the Angels starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons out there in left field. Rafael Ortega, Mike Trout, only 2 errors in the last 213 games. Pretty good glove out there. In center, Cole Calhoun in right. Jeffrey Marte at third base. Cliff Pennington, the star of last night, at short. Gregorio Petit at second. Albert Pujols at first. Carlos Perez behind the plate, and Hector Santiago, of course, is pitching.
There's Mike Scioscia, the longest tenured manager in the major leagues, his 17th season. At the helm of the Halos, he brought him a World Series. There's a strike called on J.D. Pretty good numbers on Mike Scioscia.
Yep, 544 clip. So he's behind Boch, who's having a pretty good year over there in San Francisco again.
1 ball, 1 strike on Martinez. J.D. last night had a double late in the game. And then he'll line one softly to the shortstop Pennington for the second out. 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Miggy batting .305, but has not had a whole lot going on in this trip. Just 1 for 13.
And not very good this year against lefties so far. 189. We're talking about he's hitting much better against right-handers. That's really no good reason for that. It's just the way it's fallen so far. Tigers have seen many left-handers this year. Miggy trying to jump the first pitch there, pulling it foul.
31 driven in this year for Cabrera.
We were on that homestand. Mickey got hot. You're thinking, oh, here he goes. And then we got on this road trip. It's cooled him down a bit, but he has a good attitude and determined to turn it back around.
Yeah, and really the team as a whole got a little bit hot in terms of offense as you look at the splits on Miguel.
Not much slugging, only slugging against righties, not the lefties as well. On base higher against righties. Not many people in the big leagues have reverse splits like that.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Cabrera. Just underway here at the Big A, the second game in this series. They'll play a 4 o'clock local start here tomorrow and then fly back home. They've got the makeup game due the Tigers on Thursday against the Yankees.
Tigers will get in very early in the morning. We're talking to the TV people from the Angels. They also go to Pittsburgh, so they'll get in. And but they have an off day. Usually when you fly coast to coast, you have that off day because of the rain out. Tigers do not have that luxury.
JV was awfully good last night, but had nothing to show for it. His numbers.
He was very good last night. Didn't walk anybody. Total command.
Oh, that ball's belted deep to left center field. You can't forget about this one. It is gone. Up into the rocks in left center field. Cabrera with a monster 2-out homer. Oh, I can't wait to see the exit speed on this one.
Well,
number 12.
Yeah, making a statement there, isn't he? Boy, this one sounded good. And, you know, we haven't seen a ball hit out of the park like this since we've been here in Anaheim. So you think it's out, you got it all, but you could hear the crowd just ooh and on. See full extension right there. Miguel Nui got it right away. That's a good sign. It puts the Tigers on top, 1-0.
109 miles an hour, the hit speed.
Listen to the sound.
Here is Victor Martinez. He looks at a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Victor, batting .345.
Could go for a couple of those.
7 homers this year for Martinez.
Santiago already early in this game has had a couple very errant throws now that Miggy's taken him deep. Really trying to keep the ball down and just spike that one into the ground.
It'll sail outside. 3-1 the count on Victor. Santiago is 1 for 4 in his career, or 1 and 4 in his career against the Tigers, but his ERA is 2.44, so he has had success against Detroit. Here's the 3-1. There's a strike, and Martinez was on his way to first.
Santiago 1 and 4 on the year against the Tigers. Last 14 games. Pretty good ERA though. He is a strikeout pitcher when getting the ball over.
Here's the 3-2. Bouncing ball to third. Tough play behind the bag. Knocked down by Marte. His throw is in time. That'll take care of the Tigers, but not before Miguel Cabrera hits one deep over the seats or over the wall and left up against the rocks. Homer number 12 for Miggy, and it's 1-0 Tigers. by Miguel Cabrera. The starting lineup for the Angels presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Halos, Cole Calhoun lays it off. Then Trout and Pujols, Cron, Marte, and Ortega in the middle of their lineup. Marte, former Tiger, just called up. Pennington, Perez, and Gregorio Petit rounding it out. For the Angels, they are facing Anibal Sanchez, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Anibal trying to get it together. 3-6 record. ERA is +6.
That is hammered to center field. A base hit.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health. Tigers 14 errors in the last 22 games in Angel Stadium. Jay Up, Cam Maben, and JD in the outfield. Castellanos and Cabrera on the corners in the infield. Iglesias and Kinsler up the middle. James McCann behind the plate, and he'll be receiving pitches from Anibal Sanchez.
So Calhoun singles on the first pitch he sees, and that'll bring up Mike Trout, who's had a home run, 2 out of 4 career against Sanchez.
Calhoun, 1 stolen base, caught twice. Mr. McCannon will be looking out for him.
And Trout backs out of there. 1 ball to no strikes. For Mike Trout, he was 0 for 3 last night. He did draw a walk. It turned out to be an intentional walk. That'll back him out of there. The count goes to 2-0. Really not a very deep lineup the Angels will run out there. They do have some star power at the top, but once you get beyond the middle of this lineup, very pitchable. Although last night it was the bottom of the lineup that got it going for the Angels. There's a foul back out of play. 2-1.
Yeah, started with the base hit by Giovatello, Ortega, then Cliff Pennington missed 2 bunts attempts and ended up getting a single to get the first run in, and then everything broke loose after that. Scored 5 in the 8th.
It was not the household names that did it, like Pujols and Trout. That'll miss low, and the count goes to 3-1 on Trout.
Talking about limiting damage, Calhoun on first, Trout up in the count. Just got to keep that ball down, hope that you can get a double play ball.
The Angels have bounced into 50 double plays this year, and that is the most in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you're going to see Calhoun moving on this pitch, 3-2 count. Mike Scioscia is going to be fairly active, trying to stay out of those double plays.
Runner goes, and he lost him inside. Ball 4. So the first 2 reach for the Angels. That'll bring up Albert Pujols. Pujols had an RBI late in last night's game. He ended up 1 for 4.
Pujols very crafty, only hitting .230 this year. 36 RBI, very smart hitter. 7 for 22 against Sanchez. And then last night the hit, he got up the middle with an RBI. You see the signs to where the throw is going to go on his stolen base attempt, but it might be third, might be second. Only the infielders know. But Albert's very smart. You got to watch. He likes the ball down. He likes it out over the plate, and he will sit back on off-speed pitches as good as anybody.
There is strike 1 from Sanchez. Albert now has hit safely in his last 4. 18 RBIs in his last 18 games. He is starting to be a little bit more productive as we head toward June. That'll get back out of play. 0-2. Pujols is really starting to pile up some impressive numbers. Of course, he did a lot of his damage early on in his career with the St. Louis Cardinals. Recently picked up his 2,700th hit. So he is on the march to 3,000. Here are some of the ranks among actives.
Yeah, very impressive. On his way to 3,000.
Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Pujols.
Going to want to keep an eye on those runners, Calhoun and Trout out there. Maybe not run here with 2 strikes, a 1-2 count with Albert up there, but if he should make an out, I think they would be looking to advance when C.J. Cron comes up to bat.
Now the 1-2. Get back out of play again. I mentioned that Mike Scioscia is one of those guys that likes to push the envelope, and we have seen him manage over the years. He is not afraid to hit and run, steal some bags, put pressure on the defense, and really he's done it regardless of what type of team he has had. That has just been his style.
Well, look at last night. I mean, Justin Verlander is not a ground ball pitcher. You're looking for a ground ball on a hit and run, but he feels it's the 8th inning, nothing's happening, good pitching, going to get the guys moving, and going to challenge my hitter.
That one just missed.
And it worked out very well for the Angels.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff single by Calhoun, a walk to Mike Trout. Tigers took the lead on the Cabrera home run.
But looking ahead, if it goes to 3-2, not sure it's a great count to run on. You can get into a triple play.
Well, it's gone to 3-2.
But the Angels, will see if they want to push it. Never really liked it as a hitter, sitting there and watching the guy take off out of the pitcher's motion. But again, as a manager, sometimes you put things on, you challenge them to execute.
C.J. Cron waiting on deck. Pujols has gone from 0-2 to 3-2.
A good inside move here to keep him slowed down.
Ground ball to third. Castellanos fires to second. There's 1 and there's 2. Albert backs into his 9th double play of the year, and as a team, we mentioned the Angels have hit into a ton of them.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Good job by Anibal Sanchez right here, looking for the double play. Got 2 on, nobody out. Gets the first pitch, fastball up and in. He goes with the fastball up again, and he starts to nibble a little bit with the off-speed pitches. Goes with the fastball away. Gets to 3-2 and gets that ball down in the zone, and Albert has to put in play right to Nick Castellanos. 5-4-3 double play. Now he's got to finish it off here against C.J. Cron.
Cron last night, a couple of hits. He also knocked in a run. He's got the tying run in third with 2 outs. C.J. batting .244. Fouled away, and the count goes 1-1. Cron this year has knocked in 19. He'll slice that one back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, that situation, should Sanchez get out of this, this is something you're going to use towards some good positivity, where in the past maybe he was questioning himself in the tight situations and did not get out of these situations. He went to imprint this feeling should he get out of it.
Driven deep to left center field. That ball is hit well, and that ball is gone. A home run. A line drive homer for C.J. Cron, and the Angels have taken the lead.
Well, that's not what we were looking for. You got to shake that off, though. Not like you. Just a hanging slider right over the middle of the plate, down in the zone. And Cron just line drive missile. Left center field gap. Tigers now find themselves down 2-1.
Homer number 4 on the year for Cron. 2-out homer, and there goes the bat, and a big swing by the former Tiger Jeffrey Marte.
Now, you know, you ask yourself, how can you hang the home run pitch? Well, this is what he was trying to throw. You see the difference right there? Much more depth to it. Starts as a strike, breaks out in the chase zone. And he can do it.
Better execution of that pitch there. Marte 2 out of 6 at the major league level. There's a strike call. It's been up and down a couple of times. The third baseman for the Angels played for the Tigers last year. Called up just today for the Halos. Shoot that one back up the middle into center. Single for Marte.
Well, we're just going to take a good look at this. This is the home run. It's the sliders hanging down over the middle of the plate. And I think you can see the difference. The ball just a missile out. But as we were talking about, now you've got to find a way to get out of this inning. Right now at 21 pitches.
Well, the double play off the bat of Pujols seemed to signal that Sanchez would get through this first, but then the Cron home run. Here's Rafael Ortega. There's a strike on Ortega. .255 batting average. Scored a run last night and finished 1 for 3 for the Halos.
One of the differences with Sanchez, we know that his velocity is down a bit this year. He's tended to throw more off-speed pitches, more sliders, and I think maybe you just got to stick with that fastball and focus on placing it down and on the corners in the zone, just on the corners. And also much better bases empty, 248. Runners in scoring position, 358. So quality of pitches is the key.
Good block by McCann. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ortega.
See, I don't think it is velocity related, those numbers. I think it's more execution related. I think when you get guys on base, sometimes you aim the ball a little more. You're trying not to throw in a certain area, and in fact, do throw it where you don't want to throw it. That makes sense?
It does. And the other problem here for Sanchez is 25. The next pitch will be number 25. Mentioned that Anibal trying to get deeper into games. It is going to be a necessity for the Tigers if they are to have success this year. Sanchez has only pitched into the 7th inning once this season. And we are just about to the month of June. Here's the 2-1. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball back up the middle. Iglesias had to reverse course. Nicely done to end the inning. However, 2 runs in and the home run by Cron.
Nick Castellanos last August, on the 26th of August, he took Santiago deep. So ball's flying tonight. And we've got some guys that are pretty familiar with each other, and we'll try and get Nick to get one back.
Trying to create some karma here. Castellanos, then Upton, then Maben.
Want to think the right way.
Nick batting .320, 10 home runs. His only hit against Santiago is that home run we showed you. 1 ball, 1 strike. Castellanos has been among the top hitters in the American League all season long, although this road trip has taken a little bit of a bite out of his batting average.
Gonna go through streaks like that.
Here's the 1-2. Sail back into the seats.
Well, there's a difference. April 363, May at 286, but look at the home runs. 7 in May. 18 RBI, so the production was better. Average higher in April.
Nick is still in the top 10. He comes in 9th in the American League in hitting. Victor Martinez is 2nd. And he got him on the outer edge, and Castellanos, by his body language, did not agree with that call by Brian Knight.
Well, Anibal Sanchez got out of the inning, and he comes in. You can see he's thinking, and there's pitching coach Rich Doobie having a conversation with him, trying to get him back where he needs to belong mentally. He's throwing the ball fine, just making some mistakes. You just have to be more consistent with your execution. We'll get a chance here real soon.
Here is Justin Upton. We've often talked about how if you want to be a pitching coach or a hitting coach or even manage at the major league level, how much is part psychology and psychologist part of the job?
Way part.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that that's got to be a big part of keeping guys on track.
Well, they're hard on themselves. That's why they beat themselves up. I had a master's degree in that. Have since given it up. Here's the 1-1.
Oh, that's belted deep to left field. Jay Up is gone deep, and he has tied this game. Man, did he need that.
Been a while since Jay Up's been around the bases. You better savor it, big boy.
Upton's first home run since April the 30th at Minnesota.
That boy Jay Up. I walked through the tunnel today and just happened to see Jay Up in the batting cage, and I heard him vocalizing what he was working on, and looks like it was put to good use here today. I knew he got it. So like pump it when he primed for Castellanos. He passed it down to Jay Up. It's a good teammate. Santiago. A little reaction there.
First home run this month. Well, it's a big one to tie this one at 2. Cameron Maben, the batter now with 1 out. Maben still at 435. And he looks at a fastball up 94 from Santiago. Maben pops this one up. This will head back toward the seats. Albert runs out of room. 1-2 on Maben. Maben on the road trip just 2 for 13, yet his average is still well over 400, so that should tell you how hot he was on the last homestand for the Tigers. Low and away, 2-2. So the Tigers have hit a pair of homers. Miggy in the first, and now Upton here in the second. Right back off Santiago. He's going to try and run it down, but have no play. A missile.
Hit him right in the glove, didn't it? I think this ball hit him right in the glove. Not an open glove, but hit him on the back of the glove. Sounded like it as well. He looks like he's okay. Rocket. Let's listen to this. And he moved it. Just got a piece of it. Then he had to try and rush it because Cam Maben was running. No play. That'll be a base hit. Infield base hit. Here's the sound part of it. The crowd. Oh!
That's always the best reaction. The crowd noise.
It's the best reaction when everybody's okay.
True. Well, you can get those reactions on long home runs too.
Yeah, they've got several pair of pants for each big leaguer for every game that starts, so Santiago may need to get another pair of trousers. You see a ball go back that fast at a pitcher, really you just hope that everybody's going to be okay. It's a good approach for a hitter because it's going to make you stay on the ball, but you certainly don't want anybody to get hurt by a ball like that.
So with Maben on at first base, a threat to run. Here is McCann. Ball high, 1-0. .156 for McCann this year. He is 0 for 3 in the series.
He's going to throw over there a couple times.
2-0.
You know Cam Maben wants to run.
Each ball club with 3 hits in this game. There goes the runner. Maben had a really good jump. It's fouled back out of play. Two and 1 on McCann. This game has already featured 3 home runs, 2 by the Tigers and 1 for the Angels. A much different start to this one tonight as compared to last night, when the first 27 in a row were retired by both Verlander and Chacin.
Mike Scioscia will keep throwing him over there until he gets him to go. Those signs will come from the bench. Mike Scioscia over to the catcher, Perez, and on to the pitcher.
There he goes. Ball high. Throws high. And a stolen base for Maben.
Looks like Cam Maben took his time and made sure he got a good read on that. Carlos Perez, 43% caught stealing rate. He's got those big long strides, a high throw. May have gotten him. See if they're going to challenge.
Well, that was a heck of a tag. That's going to be close.
Got your feet up.
And Mike Scioscia says, let's look at it. So right now they will review this. The call on the field is safe.
This is when I don't like the replay because you're replaying every play now and every game that's even close like that. I like the human error element as well.
Well, I know we're trying to speed up games, but this is counterintuitive to speeding up games.
And you think they're going to reverse it?
Let me take one more look.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I think they will. However, we have seen this over and over that in close plays they will not go against the call on the field. So we'll see.
Yeah, very athletic play down there in the middle. The second base down there, you go high to catch a throw like that and then make a tag like that while you're still in the air. middle infielders. Many will say they're the best athletes on the field. They might have a hard time arguing when you see plays like this. They are taking some extra time, though. They want to make sure that it's clear and convincing. I think that's the terminology that they use. You got him.
Yep, they called him out. So Maben has a stolen base taken away. What a tag. They are empty now with 2 outs. 3-1 is the count on McCann. Minute 24 on the review.
Too long.
Gregorio Petit with a nice athletic play up the middle there. It's foul back out of play. 3-2. So I guess you have to weigh getting the call right as opposed to keeping the game moving.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure I agree with the big rush to speed up the game. I think it's fast enough. It's I mean, you should just relax and enjoy.
Meanwhile, McCann strikes out. Third of the ball game for Santiago, but the Tigers tie it up. Upton goes deep. First home run in a long time, late April, and it's now a 2-2 ball game. It's a 2-2 ball game. The home run by Upton has tied this one up, and here come the Angels now against Sanchez in the bottom of the second. It'll be Pennington, Perez, and Petit, the bottom three in the lineup for Mike Scioscia. There's a strike called on Cliff Pennington. He's gotten hot lately, 5 for his last 10. The Angels are without Andrelton Simmons, who is their starting shortstop. He's on the DL.
However, he was out working out. We're going to miss him, but probably the top defensive shortstop in the game. He's getting close for his return.
He's a wizard.
It's incredible. He's got a quick arm action, gets it up very quickly, very accurate from all spots in the diamond.
1-2 on Pennington. 1 for 3 last night. Big RBI single late in the game. And he pulls that one right off of Sanchez. In the world of Castellanos is thrown out in time. The leadoff man out. We check in now with John Keating.
Well, Mario, maybe, just maybe, this was involved. Justin Upton just hit a home run. Brad Ausmus said earlier today that they had dug up video of Upton's swings while he was playing with Arizona and Atlanta and San Diego, hearkening back to part of the 9 years of success that Upton has mustered. And Ausmus said sometimes you just need to reboot a swing to build confidence back up. maybe that's what we saw as Justin Upton tied the game here in Anaheim tonight, guys.
I would say so, Keats. The exit speed on that home run, 113 miles an hour.
That's about as high as we've had, isn't it?
I think it may be the highest. I don't remember one higher.
Now, I talked to Jay Up, and you don't want to confuse anything, and I don't give my advice because Wally and Brad and Newey, those guys work with him every day. You don't want to interrupt their process. They're grinding on it all the time. But I think one of the things that he doesn't have good separation is what they call the feet. Jay Up feels like he's lunging all the time. So you want the foot wants to go forward, but you don't want the hands to go with it. And so they've been working on trying to get a little separation. The foot goes forward, the hands go back. So you have that separation. The foot goes down, your hands are in a back position. They're ready to go to the ball, and you have that separation. It's a hard habit to break, however. But so far tonight, it's worked very well.
Ooh, that was close down there at first base. Pennington, an infield single off of the pitcher Sanchez.
Penny always wants to run.
Low and away.
And the other thing is Jepp has not swung at the ball away from him very well. And look at this swing. Look what this pitch is. Out over the plate. Full extension. Bat stayed through. Talked about the 113 exit velocity. Traveled fast, deep, quickly.
Driven to right field. J.D. Martinez on the run. Still going back. Warning track to make the catch. Perez put a charge into that one, but not far enough.
Well, this is another hit and run spot in the lineup for Mike Scioscia. Keep an eye out here.
Gregorio Petit, the number 9 hitter, picked up an RBI in the ball game last night. Petit's a guy that's been a long time in the minor leagues. In fact, 11 separate seasons in the minor leagues. He's amassed over 4,200 at bats down in the bushes.
Perseverance there.
To be sure. That's outside.
I'm going to watch it here.
Runner goes, and a base hit to right field. A hit and run single. Martinez will get it back in, and they get it done as Petit singles to right.
One of the things you hope you can, even if you're not going to pick over or pitch out, you hope that you cover it right in the middle of the infield, and we vacate here. If you're, one of the ways you can go is you can do it the other way. Hopefully that you stop that from advancing into right field. Almost hit Pennington. Another aggressive play by Mike Scioscia and the Angels, and they get the Tigers in a bind right here again in the second inning.
And now Cole Calhoun will step in. Calhoun is single in the first inning, eventually came around in the home run by Cron. Ball high, 1-0. Angels already have 5 hits on the scoreboard. Inning started with the infield single. Pennington's ball hit off of Sanchez.
So should the Angels try and steal again, Petit You got to make up your mind. You're going to try and get him at second, or you're going to arm fake it. You're going to come in front of it and get it and hold the runner at third.
Runner bluffs. Now they're going to throw
Got
behind him, and he is going to be out at first base. He went about 7 or 8 steps, put on the brakes, and couldn't get back. And with McCann's arm, that was easy pickings.
See, he takes off, then he stops. I don't know if he didn't think he got a good jump, so he's retreating. But McCann, with a very quick snap throw down to first. Miggy with a good tag. Nice low tag. You want to interrupt the path to the bag. He gone. Sometimes you get bit.
You do. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Calhoun. Checked it high. They will appeal. Did not go. 3-0.
Cliff Pennington very aggressive on his lead down there at third base. Tigers might want to think about throwing a ball inside should Calhoun get on base to Trout. McCann can quickly throw down to third to try make an attempt at picking him off.
He's swinging on 3-0 and he comes up empty.
That's good action on that pitch, something off speed. Calhoun way out in front, 85 miles an hour. Calhoun 178 average against the Tigers in 14 games. Keep him in check, guys.
Another swing and a miss. 3-2 on Calhoun with Trout lurking on deck. Now Sanchez might be able to get out of this inning without having to deal with Trout.
Execute the pitch.
Here's the 3-2. And he lost it. Ball 4. So Trout will hit.
Calhoun, another run candidate. 1 steal, 2 caught. Brad, Rich Doobie have a conversation. You can see McCann right there giving the signs again. They have the first third situation. I would think that he's going to go to second base. However, you have to be prepared for Cole Calhoun to stop before the tag. And Cliff Pennington at third base will be very aggressive in trying to advance home.
Couple of walks now for Sanchez, including Trout in the first. And he'll take a strike. 0-1. Mike Trout already in his career. He's won an MVP, Rookie of the Year. Batting .286 right now with runners in scoring position. Inside, 1-1.
Ball inside. You see how Mike Trout took that? Didn't budge a bit. Stays in there tight. A lot of guys jump out of the way. So I see he's got some armor on the elbow there, the upper arm.
Way inside again. 2-1.
Well, if you're going to go in there, you got to get it in there. Tigers defense pretty much straight up on the infield. Little shade to pull in the outfield.
Pennington at third. There's the throw back as Calhoun gets back in at first.
Sanchez is buzzing over there pretty good. Too fast for my eyes. Miggy with the sure hands easily takes care of it.
Now the 2-1. 3-1 on Mike Trout. Albert Pujols on deck. This is the beefy part of the Angels lineup.
Maybe going.
High, towering fly ball to center field. May have been going back to the track, to the wall. He looks up and it's gone. He carried out a 3-run shot for Mike Trout.
Pretty good strength right there. Lots of backspin on that ball. Just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. If you look at the flags, just drifting out. This ball looked like a high fly ball. I don't think Mike Trout thinks it's out until he actually sees it go over the wall. Cam Maben just kept drifting on this ball. Backspin, a lot of velocity on it, just over the fence. 3-run home run. Tigers trail 5-2.
Second home run of the night for the Angels. The other a 2-run shot for C.J. Cron. And is Trout strong. That is his 12th home run of the season. And it comes with 2 outs here in the second. Pujols looks at a strike. Five runs on 6 hits for the Angels already tonight. Outside, 2-1. Pitch is starting to pile up now. Sanchez threw 25 in the first inning. This will be his 25th here in the second. We'll get back into the seats. 2-2 on Albert Pujols. Trout describing his latest home run, a 3-run shot. 50 now for Sanchez.
Inning in 2/3.
Again, foul back out of play.
And I guess you'd like to be at Comerica Park for that high fly ball, huh? Of Trout's. Probably not a home run in Comerica. However, it is on the West Coast.
Here's the 2-2. Low, 3-2. I have to admit, I didn't think that ball was going to go out. I thought he just missed it. Maben just kept drifting, and he just kept going. And really, there's not much of a breeze here tonight. Now Sanchez with the 3-2. Foul back out of play. Pujols hit into a double play in his first at bat. You see a little bit of a breeze, but not much.
Yeah, but it's going the wrong way. It's out.
Drilled toward left field. That ball is hit hard up and not going to be able to get it. Up against the wall. Pujols chugging to second. He's going to be out. He is out by a couple of feet.
Good play, Jay. Up. Keep it going.
However, the Angels take the lead on the strength of the bat of Mike Trout. Upton, good play. They cut down Pujols at second. The Angels now as we go to the top of the third. And it'll be Jose Iglesias to lead it off against Santiago. Iglesias, then Kinsler and Martinez. There's a strike called, and Iglesias 1-1 the count. Back in the lineup tonight, they had Romine playing short in the ball game last night. High again, 2-1.
Yeah, Iglesias got the night off. And there again tonight. Probably going a pretty good run now. And he's had his off day.
Popped him up. First base side for Pujols in foul ground. One away. Well, the Bernstein advantage breaks you the pitcher-batter matchup. I want to talk about Ian Kinsler against left-handed pitching.
He likes it. 419 clip. Third in the league. Lots of damage. Notice Iglesias seems like he's hitting a lot of little pop-up fly balls lately.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Everything in the air. Kinsler struck out to start the ball game. Strike one on the outer edge. Topped off the end of the bat. Santiago fires it over there, and there are two gone. Here are the field conditions tonight, presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 66 at game time. Launch ing pad. Launch pad. Where's the ing?
Couldn't fit it. Instead of Way Telly.
It's a road telly.
It's a road telly. Wish I was at home.
Big swing by JD.
It is a bit of a launching pad tonight. 3 home runs already in 2 innings.
No doubt about that. Tigers have 2 of them with Cabrera and Upton. Martinez lined out in the first inning. He'll smoke one high in the air, deep into right field. Calhoun back, looking up against the wall, leaps, and he made the catch. Cole Calhoun with a bit of a leaping play in right field, and the Tigers will go 1, 2, 3. To the bottom of the third, and a view of Huntington Beach here in Southern California. Mike Scioscia's Angels on top, and Menards brings you the big money encounter. And the Angels have had the Tigers number here.
They have 8 consecutive home wins versus the Tigers, and off to a good start tonight, but long way to go here as we're in the bottom of the third.
C.J. Cron launching one into shallow right. 1 pitch, 1 out. Time for a game break now, and Mickey York.
Third baseman, number 19, Jeffrey Marte.
All right, Mick, thank you. The Royals seemingly have found their groove now as we head toward the month of June. Kansas City, if they win tonight, will have 5 victories in a row. Strike one on Jeffrey Marte, who singled in his first at bat. Marte called up today by the Angels from Salt Lake. Here's a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of movement from the minor leagues up to the big leagues this time of year. You have guys that are being sent down because they aren't getting enough playing time. Sometimes you don't play them enough, so you want them to go down to AAA, get some playing time. Others have injuries to deal with. Some is just performance based.
And that's why I guess sometimes in the offseason, some of the secondary moves that general managers will make to kind of round out their organization can be critical in terms of building up some depth.
Yeah, very, very big. You can count on getting into your depth every year. I mean, if you could have one wish where you didn't have to do it, it would be your starting pitching. It doesn't happen very often. You're going to be 9, 10 pitchers, starting pitchers deep when the season's all said and done.
Marte drills one to center field. Maybin is on the move. Cameron's still going back. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Jeffrey Marte with a rocket to dead center. The 3rd home run Sanchez has allowed tonight.
Not only did Marte hit this ball out of the park, watch his backswing. Clunks James McCann pretty good. It's not a good slider. I think it's another slider again. And the ball's just traveling tonight. Want to try and keep it on the ground. A jet stream out there.
6-2 ball game now. See if this one stays in play. Iglesias, nice running play.
Played that one right. The ball goes way out over the stands and comes back. Iglesias ran to the proper spot and makes the play.
Well, Marte's got some power. We saw it last year in his brief stint with the Tigers. He can run into one and put a charge into one. He's hit a lot of homers in the minor leagues. 2 outs now for Pennington. Angels have scored in every inning so far. Pennington, an infield hit. He eventually scored on a 3-run shot with 2 outs by Mike Trout. Strike called.
Well, if you're Brad, what do? You have to leave him out there. You don't want to totally shoot your bullpen. Warwick softball is up though.
That's in the air toward right center field. Playable for Maybin. That'll end the inning. The Angels get another home run and another run. They lead 6-2.
Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Window. First inning, Miguel Cabrera puts the Tigers out front 1-0 on this moonshot. However, 4 home runs later, Tigers are trailing now 5-1. Sorry, 6-2.
Back to work goes Santiago, a strike call. 6 runs on a total of 6 hits for the Angels in this game. There's a roller to short, gobbled up there by Pennington. Burris out, 1 away.
Tigers have 2 solo shots for their 2 runs. However, the Angels have had a couple guys on when they've hit theirs, totaling 6 runs. 3 home runs, Cron, Trout, and Jeffrey Marte.
There's Victor Martinez. Hannibal Sanchez right now just has that look of just can't get it going.
Well, I think he's confused. He has every good intention. It's kind of how the game bites you when you get into a situation like this. You know, you're trying to figure out, you're positive and you're optimistic as you do your workouts between starts, and then this happens and it gets you down again. You got to fight your way out of it though.
It's one thing when a guy is injured and is trying to pitch through a nagging injury or even a more serious injury, but for Sanchez, he says he is healthy. It's just one of those frustrating stretches.
I think right now he's trying to visualize a positive outcome from this point on.
To center field for out number 2. Martinez retired. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. There's Castellanos. Strike 1 on the outer edge.
Nick struck out, took a pitch looking at 2 strikes in second. Took Santiago deep last year, trying to do it again tonight.
Santiago came into the start having struggled in his last 2. In fact, he didn't make it out of the 3rd inning in each of his last 2 starts. His teammates have given him a 6-2 lead.
He has a way of relaxing you. Tigers are capable now. They can get on a roll themselves, so we got to keep grinding it out. And maybe you get tired of hearing me say it, man. It's just what you have to do. You have to fight against the notion to feel sorry for yourself and give up. You can't do it. Good teams fight through it. The Tigers will try to do that.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Threw it by him at 95. Santiago a 1-2-3-4. He's retired 7 straight. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. And by Camp Day at Tim Hortons. Purchase coffee on June 1st and send a deserving child to camp. Nighttime starting to settle in now here in Southern California as Warwick Saupold will check in. The Tigers are down by a score of 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. And the first one is hammered out to left field, up and looking up, and it's against the wall. Perez going to second. He's in there with a double on the first pitch.
Well, Warwick Saupold, wall side windows, pitching change. Was not greeted very nicely by Carlos Perez. His fourth game, he's into his fifth game here. You can see his ERA 9.54, whip way over 2, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and his last 2 outings have not been good, but he's got to be the long guy tonight. We got to try and shut him down. He's going to have to make some better pitches. Be ready. These Angels are coming out firing tonight. First pitch on.
Gregorio Petit has a single to his credit tonight, showing bunts. Not very good form there.
Not sure that that was put on. I think he was just kind of faking it, trying to bring the infielders in, and you try and slap it by him.
And he bunted that one foul right at home plate. Now the count is 0-2. Calhoun waiting on deck. The number 9 hitter Petit facing Saupold. Here's the 0-2. Ooh, he threw his bat at it underneath a leaping Saupold. Struck him out.
Did he throw it last night too? Is that him that threw it last night?
That might have been, yeah.
You see he's trying to throw the bat at the ball. He knows he's going to miss it by a long shot. Pointed out last night, Cliff Johnson, he's with the Blue Jays, used to do that all the time. Saupold pretty athletic right there.
Yeah, especially when you consider he just delivered a pitch and was in his follow-through. So he is unable to move the runner up. Here is Cole Calhoun. Single walk, 2 runs scored for the leadoff man for the Angels. Drill deep to right field. Martinez looks up. That ball is off the top of the wall. It'll get a run in. Calhoun dives into second with a rocket of a double. Well, the Angels aren't messing around tonight.
No, Oakland didn't mess around either when Saupold came in. They hit a lot of first pitches, you remember? So we're seeing guys really teeing off on this first pitch. I wonder if he's tipping something, because it seems like they know that it's coming, what pitch is coming, and they're just laying into it. Good retrieve and throw by JD. Almost gets Calhoun. However, Carlos Perez comes around to score.
7-2 ball game. Calhoun gets his 25th RBI, and he almost hit that one out. Now Mike Trout. Ball 1 to Trout. 3-run shot off Anibal Sanchez in the second. Sanchez allowed 3 homers before departing. Low, 2-0. Now the Angels already have 10 hits, 7 runs on 10 hits as we play here in the fourth. Trout looks at a 2-0 fastball up, strike called.
You know, Mike Trout's home run came on a 3-1 pitch, as did Marte's. In his career, Mike Trout is now hitting .460, 46 for 100 with 10 home runs on 3-1 pitches. So you don't want to get into that count, do you?
Whoa. Now that's danger zone there. And it's 3-1. Way to go.
I can keep my mouth shut. I'm having a bad
Yes.
night.
Three balls, one strike. Pujols on deck. And a strike called. It looked like Trout wanted to walk there. Was not given the call by Brian Knight.
Looked like a backup slider. Did catch the corner, though.
Here's the 3-2. And he lost it. Ball 4. Let's check in with John Keating now. More on Jordan Zimmermann.
Well, Mario, as you can imagine, it looks like the Tigers are looking for something on which they can hang their hat right now. There is this, the good news perhaps, that Jordan Zimmermann is ready to rejoin the starting rotation. Another bullpen session earlier this afternoon here at Angel Stadium. Afterward, he gave the thumbs up that he is ready to go on Friday against the White Sox. A 7-2 record, 2.5 ERA. He's not pitched since May 22nd. The good news is the Tigers could have Zimmermann and Verlander both pitching in the weekend against the White Sox at home, guys.
All right, Keats, thanks. Yeah, that would line up pretty well. And finally, a morsel of good news for this Tigers rotation. They certainly need Zimmermann because he has been as steady as anybody.
He is off to a great start. You know, you saw him pull his groin. You were hoping it wasn't too bad. It looks like he's going to avoid the disabled list. If you can get Verlander, Zimmermann, and Fulmer, they all are throwing the ball well for the Tigers. That'll help right the ship starting pitcher-wise.
Pujols is hit by the pitch. And that'll load the bases.
Well, I mean, you're giving the ball up. You're giving a lot of hits up, so you just certainly don't want to leave it out over the plate. Just barely hit Albert's jersey. Still didn't like it. I think just Saupold and James McCann just trying to make sure they keep it out of the middle of the plate. Tiger bullpen ranks this month, not very good. Don't look at this column on the right. Well, I guess you have to. But month of April was very good, and this month has been the exact opposite. Opponents hitting .310 out the Tigers' pen. 49% of inherited runners have scored.
Well, I think part of the reason those numbers are where they are this month is the fact that what we've seen tonight, starting pitching has not gone deep enough, and the bullpen has been, well, they've been leaned on.
Well, I think in April you saw what can happen if you get guys into roles, and now we've gotten 2 months into the season and we've been unable to keep guys in those established roles, and when you take them out of there, it's hard to catch up. And when you're throwing guys in situations you don't want to throw them in, but nevertheless, we now have bases loaded and 1 out. Got to get out of this mess. C.J. Cron at the plate. Need a double play.
Low and away, 2-0. C.J. Cron hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. He flied to right field in the third. 314 this year with runners in scoring position. Even though he came in batting .244 overall. He was swinging and had a pretty healthy cut there on 2-0 and fouled it straight back. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, Saupold threw on Saturday in Oakland, 1/3 of an inning, 5 hits and 5 runs, and he finds himself into trouble again. You just have to find a way to make a good pitch and reverse that trend.
Drill to right field, slicing away from Martinez. JD on the run. He'll make the catch right at the wall. That'll get a run in as Calhoun comes in to score. And Crone has another RBI, his third of the night.
Pretty good approach right there. Up in the count, doesn't try and pull the ball. Sends JD deep into the right field corner. He had to run a long way for this ball. Good reverse pivot and a good strong throw in. You got Mike Trout at second base. You don't make a good throw in. He scores.
As it stands, first and third now with 2 outs, and Jeffrey Marte got a beach ball loose out in right field.
There's no beaches around here.
No, not many at all. It's one of the few stadiums where we have to deal with beach balls. Let's see, there's Huntington, there's Laguna, there's Seal Beach,
Manhattan,
Manhattan Beach, Newport Beach,
Huntington.
I said Huntington.
You did?
Venice Beach.
Oh, you got me. Santa Monica.
Oh, good one.
Malibu.
Swing and a miss. 0-1, Jeffrey Marte. There's a hard hit ball back up the middle into center field. And the former Tiger Marte is 3 for 3 tonight. He's got 2 RBIs. The Angels just keep on swinging it, 9-2.
Well, we talked about how they don't strike out a lot. You see, they've got a good approach. They just balls right down the middle of the plate again. It's got elevation right up the middle of the diamond. Angels score another.
Here's Ortega. Angels again have scored in every inning of this game. Had a couple of 3-run frames now as ball 1 is taken by Rafael Ortega.
Looks like the Tigers, Buck Farmer now getting loose in the pin.
Tigers have to eat up a lot of innings tonight with their bullpen. Little soft pop up, shallow right field. JD runs it down. That'll finally end the inning, but another big inning for the Halos.
freaky fast delivery of the game. Second inning, Jay up 113 miles per hour off the bat. Traveled, got out of here quickly. Something very positive happened early. Jay up swinging better. However, the Tigers trail 9-2.
And Hector Santiago goes back to work. The first one is hit for a strikeout, Upton. Santiago now has retired 7 consecutive Detroit Tigers hitters. Homers by Cabrera and Upton accounting for the Tigers runs tonight. There's a foul back out of play. Look out. Stay awake. 0-2. That's a pitch that many times this year we've seen Upton chase. That time he let the 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and go, and it's 1-2. Maben, then McCann to follow. The bottom of the Tigers lineup here in the 5th inning. He let another one up there go by, and the count is 2-2.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Angels somewhere along the line here. Remember, we came in on Mike Trout a couple times, came in on Albert Pujols, picked him on the jersey, so I'd expect something of a return favorite.
Swing and a miss. 3 straight at 95. That one he threw right by him. One gone here in the 5th, and this Friday the Tigers host the White Sox 7:10 p.m. game. Fans are invited to stay after the game to watch the fireworks spectacular. Tickets can be had by calling 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Five strikeouts now for Santiago. Maben tried to check it, went around. Santiago now has retired 8 straight. He came into this start with an ERA in the month of May 3 runs higher than it was in April. That's slapped to right field on a line. Calhoun gets there. 2 gone.
Don't forget the little much better at home.
Yeah, he's
Much more comfortable here at the Big A. Is that what they call it?
Big A. Allowed a couple of home runs, but for Santiago, fortunately for him, they have been solo shots. That's kind of the mini A. They used to have the Big A out beyond the left field wall to the parking lot. Big red A.
At one time, that whole outfield was 3 decks all the way around as well when the Rams played here.
Yeah. McCann swings and misses. That Big A right there, when the Angels win, they will light up the halo on nights where the Angels win, and those driving by in the freeway can tell whether or not the Angels won or lost. Swing and a miss again. McCann struck out in the 2nd.
Feel the Tigers are getting a little discouraged here, as we could all understand why, but you've got to find a way. There's 3 pitches, same spot.
And 10 in a row retired by Santiago. He has 6 strikeouts. They're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. dependable players. Then we go down to Double-A at Erie, and a couple of guys give you doing awfully well.
Yeah, Jacoby Jones, 357 and 4 home runs, 14 RBI, and Miles J. both picked up in trade. Jay picked up for Brian Holiday, I believe, and Jacoby Jones wasn't that the Pirates.
Soria, correct.
Yep.
Joaquin Soria from the Pirates last July. So they have both strengthened the Tiger system. Here come the Angels now, bouncing ball into right field off the bat.
First pitch again.
And Pennington is aboard with a leadoff single here in the fifth.
Make sure that first pitch was not over the middle of the plate. Not let him keep swinging at it that way.
Angels now have 12 hits.
Yeah, that wasn't even a bullet. I mean, to be fair, but they are locked and loaded from the first pitch on. I maybe moved their feet a little bit. Not trying to start anything, just trying to stop the barrage of hits on the first pitch.
Strike one on Carlos Perez. Soppold came on in the fourth inning to replace Anibal Sanchez and promptly gave up 3 runs.
You might be asking yourself, how can Brad leave him in? But you've got a game tomorrow. You can't burn your whole bullpen. Somebody's got to suck up some innings. So down 9-2, I think that you've got to hope that this young kid can get it together and gain some experience from it, and also save the bullpen for tomorrow.
Ground ball to third. That should help. There's a 5-4-3 double play.
Yeah, pitches like that.
2 outs. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app. Take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. 2 outs now for Gregorio Petit. The other thing in terms of the Tigers bullpen here is that the Tigers would have had an off day on Thursday, which would have helped. But again, that makeup game against the Yankees means that they will definitely need some guys to gobble up some innings here.
Well, I would not be surprised if there was some new pitchers here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I don't know how we're going to end up finishing this game out, but you've got some arms that you've got to keep rested for up games, and you know, they'll get guys on flights early in the morning. If not tomorrow, I would say for sure Thursday.
Big swing there by Petit.
As an organization, you have to ask yourself, do you bring somebody up that's already been up? Do you give somebody a new try? You don't want to rush them. Yet maybe you feel they deserve to be up at the big league level with a chance.
Petit strikes out to end the inning, so Soppold rebounds nicely in the fifth. Game summary tonight with the Angels on top 9-2. Sanchez just won his ninth tonight.
No, it wasn't. Only 3 innings, 3 home runs allowed. However, Jay up. First home run since April 30th. Angels getting it done with runners in scoring position, 4 for 7.
Here is Jose Iglesias to lead it off. Hector Santiago has retired 10 straight. He has punched out 6 tonight. Iglesias takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a line drive caught by Pujols, and that's just the way it's going.
That's a cruel baseball game right there. Iglesias hits a bullet right on the line, great approach, straight to Albert Pujols. This is how you want to do it. We were talking about how he's been getting the ball in the air. Everything works for him right here with no reward.
So how do you come away with an at-bat like that feeling after you hammer the ball, which is a good thing, but the bad thing is you get not rewarded?
Well, that's the game of baseball, because if he would have got jammed and blooped one in, he would have felt good. I promise you, he shouldn't have, because it's a kind of result-oriented game, and you just have to trust yourself, the process, and know that you had a good at-bat. You're going to take that feeling, the good feeling, into your next at-bat regardless. And, you know, plus they're discouraged. They're down 9-2 as well. So it's a test for sure, but, you know, they came home a couple weeks ago and ran off 9-2.
That's sinking and a diving try, but Calhoun can't hold on to it. And Kinsler has himself a base hit.
Say this Calhoun kid's a scrappy guy, plays hard every day. Look at him coming in, laying out. It's hard when you get the ball in your glove and then the glove hits the ground like this. It's pretty hard to judge and put it straight in there. You see it just got a little bit off the thumb. Calhoun with a good attempt, but Ian Kinsler with the 2-out single. Actually a 1-out single.
Way outside to JD, so a couple of hard hit balls here against Santiago in the 6th.
Yeah, Santiago, he's cruising around. You get a couple runners on. He can be pressured into some bad pitches in the big inning as well.
Martinez line out, fly out, 0 for 2. Way outside again, 2-0.
Just rare back and throwing right now. A lot of fastballs. You can see he's got that arm side run, which means the balls are to the arm side of the plate, and then it runs late, not finishing the pitch. Coming in now.
JD pops it up, heading back toward the seats. Tough play, and it's going to drop. Petit overran it. Ball was hit a mile high.
Yeah, and if you, from our view, you can see that ball was well deep into the seats, and then when it comes down, the backspin takes it back towards the fair foul line. This ball is out over the stands. Albert's on his horse. Petit as well. Now you see it, all of a sudden it comes back.
Ruled it a no play.
Yeah, right-hander down the right field line. The same thing will happen to the right fielder. Those high balls will come back to you. The lower line drives will go away from you.
Cabrera waiting on deck, 3-1 on JD Martinez. Drill deep to left field. That ball is way up there, and that ball is gone. JD Martinez, a 2-run shot, and the Tigers have some life. That is number 11 for JD. 9-4 ball game.
Well, let's listen to this sound. You can tell JD gets it all right off the bat. Almost had one earlier in the game in the 3rd inning, but he pulled this one and got it all. 2-run home run. Kinsler scores ahead of him. Tigers cut into that lead now 9-4.
That ball is hammered to left field. Going to stay in the ballpark though and caught by Ortega.
Take another look at JD. The ball's out over the middle of the plate. Just a no-doubter. Bring a little life to that dugout, a little more belief. On their way.
JD got new life when that pop-up, he couldn't make the play in foul territory, which kept us at bat alive.
Yep. Amazing how that happens, isn't it?
You're right, it's given the Tigers a little bit of life now in their dugout. 9-4 game. Victor Martinez with 2 outs. I'll tell you one thing, the Tigers are they're hitting the ball hard here in the 6th.
Well, they've hit the ball well. I mean, they've hit, what, 3 home runs now? Finally got a 2-runner to go with the 2 solos. They're capable of coming back and winning this game with their bats.
And home run by Martinez, by the way, means curly fries tomorrow. 3 homers. Ball high and away. 2-1. Ground out, fly out for Victor Martinez. Swing and miss. 2-2.
Little 2-1 breaking pitch right there. Fooled Victor.
Got it. Victor left the strike zone, but the other Martinez got the Tigers a couple of runs back. J.D. Martinez goes deep off Santiago, now 9-4. A couple of runs back on the home run by J.D. Martinez in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Angels have Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. Warwick Saupold came on in the 4th. First one is pounded foul back out of play. Calhoun has had a big night, double, single, walk, 3 runs scored, RBI. Tigers tonight have been out hit 12-5. That ball sails high. 1 ball, 1 strike. That'll bounce in. When Calhoun was in college, he was not viewed as a guy that had any standout tools. He's not very big in stature in terms of height, can't run all that well, but the one thing he can do is compete. And that has landed him in the big leagues. The 2-1 pitch. Grounded right side. Diving stop Miggy. His throw is going to sail right by Saupold, who's hurt. Oh, man. Saupold immediately grabbed the groin, and he is hurt.
Tell he's hurt too, huh? Probably felt it pop. Looks like it's worse than Jordan Zimmerman's. Miggy ranged far to his right there. It was a very tough play. I don't know if Ian Kinsler could have got that play. This is not fun when you got to try and get up now and find your way off the field.
Tigers had Buck Farmer warming up a little bit earlier. I would imagine that he may be up, and there he is. Buck is starting to warm again. And Saupold's going to have to come out.
Yeah, he might as well just come right out in the mound and do it. Well, a lot of pitchers don't like to do it on the mound. You know, you get somebody hurt. Some like to do it because they're on the mound that they're going to pitch off, so they get used to it. Others prefer to do it where not everybody can watch him. See, he's going over there, but he has to stretch back. The throw is behind him. This is. Oh. That's painful. You got your spikes on, so there's not much give. If you had some regular tennis shoes on, maybe it gives a little bit and you don't have to experience this, but that's not the case in baseball when you got the spikes on.
So it's going to be Alex Wilson, not Buck Farmer. Wilson will come into the game here in the 6th inning. And we'll step aside. Pitching change here at the Big A. To win as well tonight, and the Tigers have to go back to the bullpen because of an injury to Warwick Saupold. So look at the Central Division standing. All of a sudden, the Royals are again kings of the Central for the time being.
Well, let's take a look at the new pitcher. It's going to be Alex Wilson. Not throwing the ball as well as he did last year after coming off the disabled list with that injury. Does have 4 holds. He's just trying to hold this Angels team down right now. get some rhythm about himself. Only 14 strikeouts. Looks like 3 walks.
Well, Sanchez went only 3 innings in this game, gave way to Soppold in the 4th, and then Warwick, of course, had to come out here in the 6th. So the Tigers again going into the pen tonight. Wilson warming up until he feels he is good to go. 9-4. The Tigers able to get a couple of runs back on the home run by J.D. Martinez.
All right, let's take a look at the big boy big plays of the game. 6 home runs so far tonight. Started in the very first inning with Miguel Cabrera. C.J. Cron answered for the A's. Jay up back with the Tigers. Then we get to Mike Trout. We didn't think that ball was going out, but it carried. Mr. Marte, the former Tiger. Then J.D. last inning with the 2-run shot. Tigers trailed 9-4. We got a new pitcher, Alex Wilson, taking over for Warwick Soppold, who looks like he pulled a groin on him, trying to make a play. Hope that Alex can hold this Angels team down.
So Mike Trout.
I think Alex Wilson been looking for that sinker to come back like it was in the cutter and slider from last year. Not as consistent. Seems like his pitches are a little straighter than they were last year. Not the movement that he once had.
Big night for Trout. Couple of walks, a 3-run homer, and 2 runs scored. Now Trout will step out.
Keep an eye on Calhoun over there. Mike Scioscia will still run. He knows that Tigers could come back in this game.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Scioscia is the only active manager to collect over 1,000 victories with a single club.
He's very well respected. Got a great relationship with the owner, Artie Moreno.
Hammer to left. That's a base hit. Calhoun will move up to second base, and back-to-back hits here for the Angels in the 6th.
Well, beyond that, Mike Scioscia has the 2nd longest tenured of all major sport coaches, only behind Greg Popovich with the Spurs, 1996. See Scioscia there at Angels in 2000, Bill Belichick right behind him.
Marvin Lewis to the Bengals in 03. Well, here's Pujols now. Double play ball, a single and a hit by pitch for Albert. 2 on, nobody out. Albert looks at a strike.
Tigers scored 2 at the top of the inning. You want to make sure you shut the Angels down. Angels, however, nobody out. Men at first and second, Calhoun and Trout. Need to double play, don't we?
Desperately, and they got one early in the game against Pujols. And again, we mentioned this is an Angels team that bounces into a bunch up in 51, which leads baseball. One ball and 1 strike. Low, ball 2. Angels failed to score in the 5th. For the first time, they failed to score in an inning tonight. Now they're threatening again here in the 6th.
As the Tigers dig into the bullpen a little deeper. Sanchez went 3. Warwick Soppold followed, and now Alex Wilson.
Low and away. Now he's gone 3-1.
Just sitting here watching Calhoun out there at second. Albert Pujols has been around a long time. I don't know if the Angels are a team that relays signs from second base. They generally do it like you see the hands around the hip right there. Sometimes they leave them on there, or if they take them off, it means something, or they step with one foot or the other. But you have to get the signs, of course. Pitchers have a separate set of signs when you have a man on second from when you have it on first. Pretty good slider right here. Down and away. Albert can't get it. So they try and keep changing their signs when runners are on second base so they cannot pick up your cadence and predict what pitch you're going to throw.
3-2 is on the ground to the shortstop. Iglesias fires high to second. Relay to first. Got a double play. Ooh, that was a tough one to turn. Albert doesn't run well at all, but still.
I think Albert thought Miggy might have pulled his foot off. Miggy did a good job. It's a high throw. This is a tough play. Trout is right on Kinsler right here. This is where that rule comes into play. Because in normal, with the way the rule used to be, Kinsler would step right off the bag. Look close, but I don't see any challenge coming from Mike Scioscia and the Angels.
2 gone. Now C.J. Cron. 3 RBI night for Cron. Ground ball to third, deep behind the back. Castellanos' throw, nicely done.
Good boy.
And the Tigers wiggle out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. 6 in the books from Anaheim. Here in Anaheim, it is a 9-4 ball game. The Angels have the lead over the Tigers. They are trying to chip away, though, as Castellanos leads it off. And Santiago deals a strike right at the knees, 0-1.
Well, that was a good inning there. Tigers were down 9-4, and they shut the Angels down in the 5th. And then the 6th, the Angels have first and second, Calhoun and Trout on it. And then Alex Wilson comes in quickly. Double play, ground out. So they've shut him off the board again. Now we're back in the offensive attack.
Swing and a miss. Castellanos strikes out.
Well, we were just kind of talking about the play at second base. My ex-teammate Mike Scioscia, he was a tough-nosed player. I tell you, I had a conversation with him about the new rules. He got dirty, and he liked it. He thought it was part of the game. He blocked the plate better than anybody that I think ever played the game. Seen him get knocked out. This is Norm Charlton. Look at the heads bounce back. And I think Jack Clark knocked him over one time. but he stood right on the plate. We had a good celebration later in that year of 1988.
Well, we've got a photo.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do here. Now he's got a big bottle. I've just got a little can of water there.
Yeah, water. That's what it is. Yeah, or Fago, one of the two. Gotta get hydrated.
That's the John Keating prescription for celebration.
Get you a bottle of water. Like anybody's gonna buy that.
Instead a can of water.
Oh yeah, a can of water, whatever.
Well, they used to make them in cans. But he was a very smart player, smart catcher, and he's had pretty good teams. And of course, you always stop in and have a chat if you can. We like to mess with each other. Can't imagine that. And we'd like to talk baseball. I had a hard time standing still today, but talked to him about a lot of what analytics are important to him, and always get a good handshake, and took a cheap shot at him right before I walked off.
Nice. That's the great thing about baseball. I mean, all these years later, man, you're still able to hook up with old friends and just talk what you love to talk most about, and that's baseball.
Yeah, and you just gain respect when you play with guys. 162 games a year, spring training. You have some battles, but in the end, you're all in it for the same reason, and you don't care who gets the credit.
Justin up the batter with one out in the 7th inning. Count has gone 3-2 on Justin. Here's the 3-2. And he watched him ball 4.
Well, I guess we got a rebuttal from John Keating. I thought he was taking a nap down there.
I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Why am I getting pulled into your black and white beer-soaked photo from back in the 60s or whenever it was? I don't know.
You know what? You and Mike Scioscia have a little something in common.
What's that? Hydration?
I'm watching the ball game, minding my own business, and I'm getting a grenade lobbed from the booth.
Love you, President Keating. You know that. Come on.
The 60s. Nice.
I perked him up, didn't I? So you got to have, it's the same when you're down in the dugout. You got to do something. You got to pick yourselves up. You got to find a way to battle back. A little humor never hurt anybody, right?
We got plenty of grit on this broadcast. I will give you that.
Yeah, we are full of grit up here in the booth. Maben the batter, and he'll look at a strike on the outer edge. 1-1.
Is his mic off yet? Now I got him. Got the power.
Yeah.
We got action. Cam Bedrosian. That's Steve Bedrosian's son, I believe. Saw a lot of his dad when he pitched for the Twins. The Twins and Mets.
Yes, sir. Bedrock, they called him. 2 balls, 1 strike. Santiago's pitch count is up to 95 now here in the 7th. At one point, it retired 11 straight. Then he gave up the 2-run shot in the 6th inning. Two and two.
Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. High at 95. He's been sitting pretty much there at 95. Low of 76. Hector Santiago's thrown a pretty good game. A lot of life on that high arm side fastball. Tigers have had trouble catching up.
Maben tonight a single, a fly out. He was caught trying to steal a base back in the 2nd by Angels catcher Carlos Perez. McCann waiting on deck. Fouled away, so Maben continues to battle. Cameron taking his time getting back into the box. I don't know if he tweaked something on that last swing.
Looks like he's doing something with his glove there in his left wrist.
Two and two. Now Santiago again with a 2-2, and again fouled back out of play. Pretty good bat here by Maybin, trying to hang tough.
Yeah, Maybin, he's got
He's
something
hurt.
going on with his left hand, left wrist or something like that. Just saw him shake it again. Here comes Brad and the trainers.
Maybin, of course, is the only true center fielder the Tigers have on the roster right now. He is flexing that left hand. I think a couple of pitches ago he initially hurt it.
If you take a look and you see him wincing. Tigers only have 3 on the bench. Not like they got a lot of reinforcements. McCann's going to stay in the game.
2-2.
Probably have to throw Andrew Romine out there should he come out of the game.
One out walk to Upton here in the 7th inning, and he'll draw a throw. Here's the previous pitch before the last one. This is when it originally started bothering him. And then you saw the last pitch as well. There's a strike call, got him looking. Maybin is out. They follow Tigers Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Now at 100, Mr. Santiago.
Gonna leave it up to James McCann. McCann 2 strikeouts in the 2nd and the 5th. Looked like he was swinging the bat better recently. Today he's had his troubles. 1 home run and 9 RBI. Be a good time to run into one. We get 2 more back.
Two and 0. McCann is 2 for 13 on this road trip. Still looking at Maybin. That was Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer. Matt Rankin also looking over Maybin. That is low and in. 3 balls, no strikes.
Not going to be swinging, I don't think. 3-0 with down by 5 runs.
There's Romine in case he's needed. That's down the middle of strike 3 and 1.
Yeah, if you're Romine, you're going to get loose for sure. You want to be ready.
In there again. Now a full count, 3 and 2 with 2 outs. That'll mean Upton will be on the move. 9-4 Angels lead the Tigers here in game 2 in the series. And the 3-2 foul back out of play.
Begging for a homer here, I am.
Keep working. McCann's first home run of the season came on the last homestand against the Rays. Santiago now at 106 in the pitch count. And he walked him, ball 4. That'll put 2 on. Couple of walks in this inning now.
Yeah, Santiago's, he's done.
Sosha coming out.
He's already made the signal towards the bullpen. We'll get a new pitcher.
So Santiago could not finish it here in the 7th. He will depart. Pitching change in Anaheim. 9-4 Angels. names in soccer coverage on the United States for the 100th anniversary of one of the world's biggest tournaments. Coverage of the Copa American Centenario begins June 3rd across the networks of Fox Sports. Here is Cam Bedrosian.
Yeah, son of Steve Bedrosian, as we said, 19th game. ERA of 1.10. 18 strikeouts, 5 walks. Kind of a fastball slider guy. Throws about 95 miles an hour. Slider is good. However, he can sometimes overthrow it and hang it. Wouldn't it be something if Iglesias got a hold of one?
Well, Iglesias has 1 home run this year, and that came against Max Scherzer, so why not?
That's what I'm talking about.
He's 0 for 2. He lined out sharply in his last at bat.
Bedrosian, first round pick by the Angels in 2010. Highly touted, throwing the ball good for the Angels.
First one rides in, 1-0.
Remember his dad used to throw right over the top. Similar motion, not exact, but had good ride and carry. Used to ride the fastball high.
That's in there, a strike. You remember his dad's nickname, right? Bedrock? That was Steve Bedrosian's nickname, Bedrock.
So is this Little Rock?
Well, no, but the point I was about to make is his middle name is Rock. Cameron Rock Bedrosian.
Huh.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Iglesias.
Just pull one down in the corner. That'll do is fine. You want to at least pick up one right here. You want to just keep nicking away at that lead.
Yeah, Kinsler waiting on deck. Nine runs, 14 hits for the Angels. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Tigers tonight, but they're threatening here in the 7th with 2 outs.
2 on and 2 out.
Inside again, and the count goes to 3-1.
Better yet, get a walkie and Kinsler on deck. As a manager, you're never comfortable, even though you have a lead 9-4 here with 2 outs in the 7th.
Fouled off, 3-2 now on Iglesias.
96 miles an hour on the pitch.
All of the Tigers' runs tonight have come via the home runs. Solo shots for Cabrera and Upton, and a 2-run homer for J.D. Martinez. The Angels, though, have hit 3 home runs of their own. One of them a 3-run shot by Mike Trout. Runners go on 3-2. He walked him, ball 4, and that will load the bases.
Angels are going to get some more action. Comes Charlie Nagy out of the dugout for the Angels. Angels pitching coach.
It's a 3rd walk in the inning now for Angels pitching. The first 2 by Santiago. Bedrosian comes in and walks the number 9 hitter. And now the Tigers have a tremendous shot here with the bags full and Kinsler coming up. And this game can get real interesting very quickly.
You know Ian's going to be searching that early pitch. Bases are loaded. Upton at 3rd. McCann at 2nd. And Iglesias at 1st. 278. No grand slams yet for Ian. Wouldn't it be something?
Bender missing outside. It's amazing that Kinsler does not have a grand slam in his career.
Yeah, it takes you a while.
Salas, the right-hander, now starting to heat up.
Hang it.
He did not, but a dart's low and away. 2-0. Now Bedrosian can't find the plate.
He's going to get a fastball here. Want to make sure you get it down in the zone. Do not want to elevate too high.
A 2-0 count on Kinsler with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He tried to check his swing, but he went around. 2-1.
That ball got in on Ian very quickly. Sneaky. It's 2-0 count. Didn't really sell on it. Fortunately, he just fouled that ball off.
.273 with runners in scoring position this year for Kinsler.
Going to get another heater here. Can't imagine he's not getting the slider over it, and he's hanging it. I don't know why he'd throw it.
And it's in there, a strike right at the knees. 2-2.
Ball right down at the bottom of the zone, I guess. Fox Tracks confirms. That's the pitch we're talking about taking out of the game right there for a strike.
And the 2-2. Fouled it off. Kinsler stays alive. Right off the mask of Carlos Perez.
A wake-up call. They've made great advancements in the catcher's mask. Back in the day, see how this artist hits it right off his face. But seems that you're having less concussions on balls off the mask nowadays, and I hope that's the case.
There's more give in the way they are making catching masks currently than in the past, which is forcing less jarring on the head and the neck. Oh man, Ian just fighting one off right back at the screen.
Well, the Tigers only hitting 190 with the bases loaded, 2 extra base hits. That is 28th in MLB. That's not where they want to be, but we can improve upon that right now. 2-2 count. Bedrosian against Kinsler.
And he walked him. Nope, no, 3-2. I beg your pardon, 3-2. And now time called.
I just can't imagine he hasn't thrown a slider over. It's got to be a heater.
Meanwhile, Perez making sure that he knows, and Bedrosian knows what they want to do here.
Yeah.
JD on deck.
Just in case the signs are getting relayed. Got to get at least one out of this. Shooting for 4 though.
Loaded up 3-2 on Kinsler. Driven to left field. In the corner it goes. It is hooking, and that ball is gone. It's a grand slam for Ian Kinsler. The first of his career, and we have a brand new ball game.
Attaboy. Some good emotion there from the Tigers. Down this whole game, and they come back on a big grand slam home run. That'll be it for Cam Bedrosian.
Bedrosian allows a walk and a grand slam home run, and now it's a 9-8 ball game.
Well, as I was saying, you're a hitter up there. You know he's not going to throw you the slider right there. At least you're going to put all your eggs in a basket. You know he hasn't thrown one over. You're pretty sure he's going to throw you the fastball. I would have been sitting heater all the way. He gets it middle in, and Ian Kinsler, we know, crushes this pitch right here. That's what he does best. Ball on the inside part of the plate, and gets it into the seats in the left field corner.
And here's the energy you wanted on the bench. It's a new game.
We talked about it this whole game. You just got to keep grinding it out. You expect that you'll get a moment like this somewhere in the game to make a play. And again, this is a new ball game.
3 walks in the inning for Angels pitching, and all of them come around to score on the grand slam.
They give you charity, you take advantage of it. How about that? No grand slams, and all of a sudden here he is on the board with his first grand slam of his career, putting the Tigers down by 1.
Well, it was 9-2 at one point, but the Tigers using the home run ball to get back in this game, and here is Fernando Salas.
Salas' 24th game, has 8 holds, 2.22 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 5 walks. So Bedrosian with the walk getting behind in the count to Ian Kinsler. You can't expect Salas not to do that. He's going to come right at you. Got good stuff. And that'll leave it up to J.D. Martinez.
Salas turned 31 yesterday, and now he will come in with the bases empty, but 4 runs in for the Tigers. And JD now all of a sudden the tying run at the plate.
Big walks. McCann laid off a tough pitch. Iglesias. Kinsler laid off 2 sliders to start the at-bat out and pushed Bedrosian into having to throw the heater on a 3-2 count. Good AB.
There's the ball up high, 1-0 the count on J.D. Martinez.
How long did it take him before he knew it?
I think instantly.
Got in on him just a little bit, but you see him pull those hands in, get just enough of the barrel on the ball, get it out of the stadium.
There's the strike called, 1-1.
Tough pitch there. There's a slider you don't want to swing at.
The Tigers have hit 4 home runs tonight.
7 between the 2 teams.
Fouled it off, and the count 1-2 now on Martinez.
Salas, a fastball, changeup, slider guy.
Kyle Ryan warming up now in the Tiger bullpen. 6 runs in the last 2 innings for the Tigers bats.
Marte, Ortega, and Rip Pennington due up for the Angels in the bottom of the inning.
1-2.
You got a lefty and a switch hitter due up.
Well, you give up a grand slam, you can let the other team back into the game, and it is a very lonely feeling on the bench. There's another foul straight back.
4 home runs tonight, ties the season high. 23rd of May versus Philly, the other game that the Tigers hit 4.
Ground ball foul down the third base line. Bullpen for the Angels this year came in with a .376 earned run average.
Just went up a little bit this inning.
3 base on balls, and the home run by Kinsler. Foul away again as Martinez continues to battle.
Tell you, you get down 9-8 all the way from 9-2. You feel a little better at the plate. Every Tiger hitter now. You fight the frustration at 9-2. You're telling yourself, stay in there, battle, don't give up. It's hard to do. All of a sudden you're 1 away. You can feel it.
Up and in. 2-2 now on JD. Well, it was Justin Upton got it started with a walk with 1 out. Miggy waiting on deck.
Jay up on base 2 times tonight.
Line drive caught by the shortstop Pennington. Inning is over. However, Ian Kinsler with a grand slam home run to pull the Tigers to within one. Coming up the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors. Well, all of a sudden, it's a one-run ball game now. The grand slam by Ian Kinsler has brought the Tigers to within one. And it looks like Cameron Maybin is out of the ball game. Andrew Romine will come in to play center field. So here come the Angels. And in the bottom of the 7th, Jeffrey Marte will lead it off. He's had 3 hits against his former team. First one is in there for a strike called, 0-1.
Obviously, we need to shut him down. Keep the momentum on our side.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Up and in. The Angel Stadium record, by the way, for home runs combined by both teams is 10. We have had 8 hit in this game. That was back in 1985 here when Reggie Jackson hit a couple for the Angels. Doug DeCinces. Dusty Baker hit one out for Oakland. There's a fair ball down the first base line. It's going to be extra bases. Marte has himself a 4-hit game. He's rounding the bag and holding. A double for Jeffrey Marte.
Well, everything's been out over the plate for Marte today, and he's tatered it all. Biggie's off the line right here. This ball's away. Down into the corner. JD gets over it. Holds it. Had a double. Probably expect Ortega to bunt, huh? Been happening a lot.
Yep. Right groin strain for Suffold is the official word. Now here's Ortega with a runner at second, nobody out. 15 hits for the Angels in this game. Ball 1. I think I said we had 8 combined home runs earlier. It's actually 7, so we're 3 away from the Angel Stadium record. 4 by the Tigers and 3 for the Angels. 2-0 now on the count.
Soch didn't give too many signs. I don't think anything's on there, especially with the 2-0 count.
Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. And Rafael Ortega. Well, the Tigers have worked so hard to get back into this game. Wilson trying to keep them where they are right now, a 1-run game. Pennington waiting on deck. Strike call, 3-1.
Ortega's going to try and pull this pitch to the right side of the diamond to advance Marte. That's his job. His job is not to get him in, it's to get him over. Now if you get him in as a bonus, that's good. But first is to get him over.
We'll shoot that one to left, but foul.
Now I'd like to see a cutter in right here. Throwing him pretty much away. And Alex Wilson's cutter was really good last year. That's some pitch he's been looking for since coming off the disabled list.
Wilson got the big double play ball in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
All right, Tigers come back. Look back to the 6th inning. Tigers come back. 2-run home run by J.D. Martinez makes it 6-4. In trouble. Calhoun and Trout on second. They get the double play from Pujols. And then the ground out by C.J. Cron. Now they've been having trouble holding them off the board the whole night. Then Ian Kinsler comes back an inning later. Grand slam makes it 9-8. That's just how quickly this game can change. It's the importance of never giving in. You got to be ready. You turn the double play. Castellanos made a good play on the final out of the inning in the 6th. They got out of that inning, and here they have a runner on second in Marte, and they must keep him at bay as well so they can get back and take the lead in RAB in the top of the 8th. But you know, here you're going to the 6th inning. All of a sudden it's just 9-2, then it's 9-4. On top of that, we get out of a tough inning, then we get 3 walks, grand slam. Great game.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and with the home run by J.D. Martinez in the 6th inning, made it 9-4, and that gave the Tigers a little bit of life. And they cashed in big time with the grand slam. Pennington 2 hits tonight.
I would be cheating in if I was the outfielders because you want to cut this run down. Penny doesn't have a lot of power.
Bunts it third base side. Wilson, quick throw is going to be targeted. 1 single.
Watch out for the safety squeeze. We did this drill last night. Coming up again. Cliff Pennington, very smart, scrappy player. This is a very good bunt. Angels were out early today practicing their bunting about 3 o'clock, and he has put it to use. They now have first and third, 1 down.
Carlos Perez.
Looks like Pennington might have pulled a quad. I think he just came out the disabled list with the hamstring, did he not?
He did, correct.
They're short on shortstops. Getting old, Penny. Getting all those hits. Get deserved there. Brad's out there. They're talking strategy over the mound. We got a couple conversations going on.
Pennington's coming out, it appears. So he will get a bunt single, but Giavotella now will come on a pinch run.
Johnny G. what happens. You get fatigue. He's digging it out. You can see it grabs him right there. He knows it. Frustrating when you're on the disabled list and come up and re-injure yourself.
That's exactly what Brad did last night in the situation where the safety squeeze was a not only possibility but probability. He came out to remind his entire infield and his pitcher.
So last night I suggested maybe they do this what I call early break, where you have Cabrera come in, you try and put the pressure on the bunter. I wouldn't do it the first pitch, but if he bunted at the first pitch, I would do it at the second pitch.
No sign of it there. 1 ball, no strikes. Marte is the runner at third base.
I just have a suspicion he's going to put it on something on here, either the bunt or he would even hit and run with the first and third. I tell you, he'll do anything at any time.
Snap throw and then runner back.
Soch going through his signs again over there, using both hands. Brad making an adjustment there. See, he's talking to Castellanos to stay true right there. Tigers are going to go for the double play, obviously, in the infield.
Line drive. Caught. They're going to get a double play. Oh, that worked out beautifully for the Tigers. Doubled off first Giavotella, and the inning is over. No runs, double, single, and 1 man left, and a huge double play for the Tigers. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
A good meeting out there when they were looking at Cliff Pennington. Comes out there, things are unscrambling again. We got first and third just like we did last night, which turned into 5 runs. Then it leads into a play. Good quality pitch by Wilson into a line drive double play, turned by Ian Kinsler. Mike Scioscia doesn't look happy.
Not in the least. Giavotella stays in the game to play second base. Petit moves over to short. And Miguel Cabrera leads off the top of the 8th inning with a strike called 0-1.
Now in our open, we talked about you got to learn how to slow the game down and make plays in that situation. And I like that Brad did that. He went out there, got everybody there, calmed his pitcher down. This is what we're going to do. Now there was some good fortune, but you're ready to make the play. And in some of the games we've lost in this series or this road trip, we have not made those plays. So far, the last couple innings, Tigers are playing real good ball. As they should.
Cabrera hit a home run in his first at bat. Ooh, big swing there. 1-2. Middle of the Tigers lineup, Cabrera, Martinez, Castellanos. Just off the plate.
Well, this is what we're looking for right here. First inning, Miggy gets the Tigers on the board. Good extension. Made it 1-0. Now he's trying to make it 9-9 here in the 8th.
Ground ball to third. Marte throws up the line, but Pujols applies the tag. One out for Victor Martinez. The March due. He's 0 for 3. They are shifting against Victor Martinez.
Well, all the data to where the infielders are going to play comes from upstairs. The analytics people here for the Angels, they figure out the data. They tell pretty much where to position the players. However, it's the player's job to read the swings, read where the pitches are. They're the guys that can see what the hitter's trying to do. And obviously, if he's trying to hit against the shift, you have to adjust. This is a little different shift we can show after the pitch for B-Mart. They usually have 3 on the right side of the infield. They only have 2. So this guy here is usually over here. Then they have that little net right there. With the left shortstop on the left side of the diamond to second base there. Third baseman playing well off the line.
Victor got out in front of that one and skied it foul down the line.
He's trying to tie it. Well, you can see as a left-handed batter, there's where he's hit his home runs. 1 to left, 2 to center, 3 to right. See all the percentages right there, and you can kind of figure out why the Angels are playing him the way they are. Going away.
Victor stays live, 1-2. Castellanos will be next. 4 home runs tonight for the Tigers, including the grand slam by Kinsler. JD's 2-run shot came in the 6th. He's writing some stuff down in that book. JD likes to do it old school.
Nothing wrong with that. It works.
Occasionally, Cabrera will pick up that book and start doodling in it, just to mess with JD.
I think the books are better for your eyes. You know what I mean?
I do.
Back in the, no, I can't say it. Had a good one, but maybe going a little too far.
The 1-2. High, towering fly ball deep to right field. That ball to the track, to the wall, and we are tied. The Tigers have come all the way back. Martinez homers.
Well, they've come a long way. Now you got to finish it out, but they went to their big boys. Ian Kinsler last inning. This inning, is B-Mart looking a little emotion out of Victor, huh? They've tied this game up.
5 home runs for the Tigers in this game, and it's now a 9-9 ball game.
Home runs by Kinsler, JD, Cabrera, Upton, B-Mart. Watch this emotion for Victor. Boy,
Castellanos goes to second, and he is the go-ahead run now with 2 outs, or with 1 out. Well, what a comeback tonight for the Tigers.
Boy, I tell you, they come in streaks, boy. When they get one going, it leads to another.
That is a double for Nick.
Loud contact from Beamart as well by Castellanos. Cannot make the play out there in left field. Ortega. Salas, I think, wanted to have that ball caught, but that's a rocket.
Here is Upton now. The Tigers have a chance to take the lead with only 1 out. Fouled back 0-1.
Well, this would really be something if Jap would be the guy to put this game in control for the Tigers. Not that a home run or even a go-ahead run would be in control, but win this game. Good contributions from all.
Especially where the Tigers came from. They were down 9-2 in this game. Upton looks at a strike, and now it's 0-2.
Win this game tonight. Fulmer's on the mound tomorrow. Got to feel pretty good tonight going to sleep.
Seven unanswered runs by the Tigers. Here's the 0-2. Upton takes outside. Alvarez, the former Tiger, warming up in the Angels bullpen, the lefty. Popped up, shallow center. Trout coming in. And there are 2 gone. Here's the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet tomorrow. Fulmer and Shoemaker.
Well, Michael Fulmer's throwing the ball great for the Tigers. 4-1 record. Even when he doesn't throw good, the Tigers have been winning, so you got to feel good about that. Michael Shoemaker, he's a Michigan boy, huh? 3-5 record. Had a good conversation with him yesterday. Got a pull for him most of the time, but tomorrow I'm going to have to go against him.
Here is Romine now with 2 outs. Let's check in with John Keating.
Yeah, Matt Shoemaker lives in Michigan when he's not playing baseball here in Los Angeles. Grew up as a big Tigers fan. Was thrilled to see Gibby yesterday. I asked him who his pitcher was that he loved watching back in the day on those teams in the 80s and 90s. He said it wasn't a pitcher at all. It was Cecil Fielder. Was Matt Shoemaker's
Really?
favorite player. Fascinating chat with him today. You'll hear more of that on Tigers Live just before our game, the series finale tomorrow here in Anaheim. Mario?
All right, Keats. Well, I think Cecil was a lot of youngsters' favorites growing up in the Motor City. But typically, though, guys that end up pitching in the big leagues, they kind of gravitated toward pitchers as their favorite players as youngsters.
Yeah, well, I was obviously an Al Kaline guy, but there you got him right there, Mr. Shoemaker. I like Lolich, Mickey Lolich.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
One ball, 2 strikes. Castellanos to go ahead run at second. Romine takes high. The count evens out 2-2.
Let's see how Salas really moves the ball around. And we got Andrew Romine up here hitting in place of Cam Maben. Came into the game after Maben hurt his wrist.
Justin Wilson has been warming up. That'll go foul down the left field line.
I have one of my games that I like tonight.
Bonus
Tigers
baseball?
Yeah, the Tigers are down to 2 players on the bench because they're carrying the extra pitcher. Might be such a good extra inning game tonight. We get a pitcher in a position and win the game.
Ooh.
How about that?
That'd be something.
I think they played, it was either 20, I think it was a 20 inning game in Houston when it was with the Dodgers, and Fernando Valenzuela played first base.
And Romine strikes out to end the inning. However, Tigers get another long ball tonight. This one a towering shot off the bat of Victor Martinez. It's a 9-9 game. It is time now for T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball, and we want to talk about some of the early results now in the All-Star voting. I guess the first batch of results are in.
Yeah, Kansas City does a good job of supporting their players. You see 3 Royals already there in the lead. David Ortiz over there, the DH over there in his last year. He says he's retiring, right?
He does.
Altuve, what a second baseman. This guy can really hit, huh?
He can play.
Got a new pitcher, Justin Wilson. He'll be coming on. Good numbers for the Tigers. Throws the ball good. Good velo. 24th game already. Has 11 holds. Doesn't walk anybody. 28 strikeouts against 4 walks.
And Gregorio Petit will start things off and take a strike right at the knees. What a wild one we've had here at the Big 8 tonight. 9-9 is our score. Petit, Calhoun, and Trout. Oh, 2. Soft hold, Wilson and Wilson all coming out of the Tigers bullpen tonight.
Pretty good job after Softball had trouble in his first inning. Shut him down. They got hurt. Alex Wilson came in, got in trouble.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Petit is dusted, 1 gone. Thursday night, the Tigers battle the Yankees at 7:40. Great seats still available. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, look at the upcoming schedule after they get this game out of the way tonight, get a win. They face the Angels again tomorrow, makeup game on Thursday. Then here come the White Sox, the Blue Jays. So we're going to see some new teams.
And a pretty challenging stretch coming up in the month of June.
They're all challenging, aren't they?
They are. Some more than others. It's fouled back. It's tough to win games at the big league level, isn't it? No matter who you play.
Very competitive this year. Many teams clumped together around 500.
Tigers have been doubled up in the hit column, but they are tied up in the run column. Calhoun tried to hold up, couldn't do it. No balls, 2 strikes. High and away. Close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 98 that time from Justin Wilson.
James McCann tried to sell that a little bit. The catchers, they kind of have a little thing they do when they think it's going to be called a strike. But try and bait the umpire sometimes, but it didn't work that time. Brian Knight not biting. Keeping it away.
Pulled on the ground to second, right at Kinsler. And there are 2 gone.
Calhoun, he put a good at bat on Wilson there, lefty on lefty.
Here is Mike Trout.
Mike Trout does not hit as well against left-handed pitchers so far this year. Only at a 280 clip, 324 coming into the game right-handed. We obviously know how dangerous he is. Hit a fly ball that carried out of the park early in the game.
Strike 1 to Trout. On base 4 times, 2 walks, homer, single. Ball high, 1-1.
Well, second inning, we're talking about it. This ball looked like a fly ball, but it just continued to carry out of the park. Not what we want to see at this juncture of the game.
High, ball 2.
Tigers trying to keep the ball up on Mike Trout. Kind of watch how his setup. He's got his hands nice and high, trying to pitch him up and tie him up. High hands, and watch the spreading position. They'll drop. I always call the ready position the point of where you're locked, loaded, ready to approach the baseball. Got to make sure you can get to and cover as many pitches as you can in different areas on the plate, especially with 2 strikes. Going up again. Got a pretty good eye. Walks a fair amount. Only has 6 stolen bases this year, 1 caught. James McCann catches base stealers at a 50% clip.
Full count 3-2 with 2 out, nobody on. Tied at 9 in the bottom of the 8th. Shattered bat, look out, rolled back up the middle. Iglesias spinning, got him. What a play by Iggy.
Very nice.
A 1-2-3 inning. Iglesias with a fine whirling play up the middle. Ian Kinsler to go up third as we go to the 9th. All right, we'll give it our best shot here and see if the Tigers come up with a run or 2. And they will face a new pitcher in the 9th inning. It'll be Houston Street coming on.
Closer for the Angels. He just got off the disabled list with an oblique strain. This will be his 10th game of the year. He's 5 for 5 in save opportunities. ERA a minuscule 1.17. Very good with his control. He can hit all of his pitches, paints.
Houston Street coming off the disabled list yesterday. It'll be James McCann, Jose Iglesias, and Ian Kinsler as we go to the 9th. Well, McCann had one of the big at-bats in the 7th inning, drawing a walk. And he drops down a bunt, but right in front of the plate. 1 out.
Shortstop, number 1, Jose Iglesias.
Here's the game summary tonight. 9 combined home runs in the ball game. Sanchez lasted only 3 innings in this one tonight. And Mr. Kinsler with a grand slam in the 7th. Iglesias walked in the 7th inning. Three base on balls preceded the grand slam by Kinsler. There's a show up bunt missing outside.
It's all for show there.
That's in there. Francisco Rodriguez and Mark Lowe.
We're ahead. It'd be Frankie.
On it, third base. They're going to let it roll. Foul, look out, foul. Marte ran it. 2-2 on Iglesias.
I know Iglesias has been working on his bunting quite a bit. You don't want to try and make too perfect of a bunt. Most of the field, especially these fields here, they have the short grass, the very hard surface for dirt. Hard to keep them fair. So you got to get them out into the grass. Need a base runner for Mr. Kinsler. See if he can do it again, huh?
I'm in. Here's the 2-2.
As I said, Houston Street, he paints with all of his pitches. He's got the fastball, the slider, changeup, really good changeup. Velocity now only 88 miles an hour. He averages 83 on the slider, 80 on the change. Usually has really good movement on his pitches too, especially the changeup.
He's always had that different delivery for a reliever. He slides that right foot across the slab.
Throws across his body. Ian Kinsler looking for another crack.
Popped him up. Giavotella back to the grass. Iglesias is out. Here is the 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game.
278, no grand slams yet for Ian. Would there be something?
Driven to left field. In the corner it goes. It is hooking, and that ball is gone. It's a grand slam for Ian Kinsler. Can he do it again? 2 out, nobody on here in the 9th. And a ball low.
Well, Houston Street wasn't going to throw a fastball on the inside part of the plate right there. Came with the slider. He's going to try and keep it down in the end and keep it away from him. 2 for 4, grand slam, single and 2 runs, 4 RBI.
Ian's grand slam was followed by the home run by Victor Martinez in the 8th. And that actually tied the game. Try to hold up. Did he go? No, he did not.
Oh boy.
Todd Tichenor not making many fans here in Anaheim.
Just look at him from the side. Stop it right there. He didn't go. No.
Oop.
It's not as easy of a call as you think from down there where the umpires see it from.
Right off the end of the bat, Street. And picked at first by Pujols. Tigers go 1-2-3 in the ninth. We are headed to the bottom of the ninth inning, tied at 9. Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Bottom of the ninth inning at Angels Stadium in Anaheim, California tonight. Game 2 in this series, all tied at 9. Tigers fell behind 9-2 before a vicious comeback tied it up. Mark Lowe is on.
Got a new pitcher, Mark Lowe, in his 21st game. 8 holds. We need to get him the hold or the win. 16 strikeouts, 8 walks. He has not thrown the ball as well lately. He did throw an inning on Sunday. An inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. But the Tigers need to get him back on track. So this is a good time for him to throw the ball well, preserve the tie as it is right now, and we can go for the win.
Albert Pujols leads it off here in the ninth inning. Way outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Pujols.
2 for 5 with the strikeout versus Lowe for Albert Pujols. Now, last Sunday, when Lowe threw, he was yanking the ball a lot too, if you remember right. So hopefully he can find an adjustment here as he gets down 2-0 to Albert Pujols.
And it's 3-0. C.J. Cron waiting on deck. Three balls, no strikes on Albert. He has hit into 2 double plays tonight. And he throws a strike, and Pujols can't believe it.
Looked like it ran in off the plate, but he got the call from Brian Knight. That's the kind of movement that you want to see. Throw that ball down there low, let it run, let him hit it into the ground, and let your players, your teammates pick it up.
Here's the 3-1. There's ball 4. Pujols has a leadoff walk.
You get a pitch run for him. Just off the corner, doesn't make it back. Well off the plate, so all 4 of the pitches off the plate on the glove side of Mark Lowe. Got a runner.
Shane Robinson will come on a pinch run. Now C.J. Cron will come up. It's been a big night for Cron. 3 RBIs, a 2-run homer. Here's ball 1.
First inning, C.J. Cron went deep. That was a long time ago, many home runs ago. That was 7 home runs ago.
Yes, it was. Line drive foul down the right field line.
Shane Robinson, he's got 13 steals out of 17 attempts, 76%, so he can run. Mark Lowe doing a good job right now, about 1.15 seconds to home plate. So he's doing his part. We know James McCann can throw it down there fairly accurately as well.
Lowe is the 4th pitcher out of the Tigers bullpen. Anibal Sanchez started tonight, lasted only 3 innings.
See Brad giving the signs to James McCann. Does he throw over? Does he slide step? Does he pitch out? Not going to pitch out, but that's the signs that he gives.
Driven deep to left field, way back, and the Angels win. C.J. Cron's 2nd home run of the night, and it's a walk-off winner for the Halos.
Make sure he touches the plate. It's about all the hope you have is that he doesn't. It's a disappointing loss. The Tigers came back from a 9-2 deficit, tied it up at 9. And Mark Lowe, who the Tigers need to throw the ball the way he's been capable of prior years, gives it up after a leadoff walk to Albert Pujols.
A 5 RBI night for C.J. Cron, who got all of that one, and the Angels walk off the Tigers. They've won the first 2 in the series. Major disappointment for the Tigers, who fought back from a 9-2 deficit. And all Mark Lowe can do is think about it. What a frustrating loss for the Tigers.
Yep, we've been talking about him yanking it a little bit. This one just gets too much on the plate. Looks like a hanging slider. Didn't do much. Ball's elevated as well. The Angels walk the Tigers off.
An unbelievable show of power by both teams here tonight. Balls flying out of the ballpark. But unfortunately for the Tigers, the Angels have the last laugh. Final score, the Angels win this one 11-9. We'll be back to the Big A.